Okay, we have to understand that the first person that come with the idea that of the Big Bang is George Merritt. Am I right? George Merritt said that according to George Merritt, it was a Big Bang. After that Big Bang, the world created. Stephen Hawking followed that theory for a long time until recently he changed his mind. Albert Einstein also believed that was no creator until towards the end of his life, and he changed his mind. Towards the end of his life, he said he wasted most of his life. He regret that he wasted most of his life believing that there is no creator to the world. So today, we'll see who was the first person to believe that it was a creator. Anyone have any idea? Sorry? Avraham Avinu. How old he was? That's the Chokhmah. 3. Okay. Any other? Huh? Only Moti 3. What? Only Moti read the Midrash? Okay. So only, sorry? No, Noah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to him. I say, who found out by himself, in his own strength, to find there is a creator to the world? Avraham Avinu. Adam HaRishon been created. Adam HaRishon spoke to him. No, he knew because HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke. HaKadosh Baruch Hu never spoke to Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu asked the Almighty to reveal to him. I'm going to bring the Midrash. So the first one actually to ask, to find out who was the creator, is Avraham Avinu in the age of 3. How does it happen? The Midrash tells us that Nimrod HaRasha, he was a king. And he had a dream. And he saw that in astrology that Avraham Avinu going to be born and he going to take his place. He actually going to rebel against them. And when he heard that, when his advisor told him that it's going to be actually Terah and Nitzevet Bat Adiel, that's the mother of Avraham, when they have the baby, they put him in a cave. For 3 years, Rabotai, for 3 years, Avraham Avinu never saw anyone. After 3 years, the Midrash says Avraham Avinu came out, and the first thing that he saw, when he came out, he saw the sun. And when he saw the sun, he realized that that's God. And he started worshiping the sun. When the evening came, he changed his mind. He saw that darkness came. He said, if that's the case, so the night is the God. Why? Because suddenly become darkness. And not only that, he saw so many stars, so he realized that that's God. He started worshiping the moon. When he realized the following morning that the sun come again, he realized it's going to be 1 minute there is sun, 1 minute there is moon and star with many soldiers, and the next thing the sun again. No, he couldn't. The Midrash tells us that actually Avraham Avinu was searching for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he couldn't find. Until Avraham Avinu davened and screamed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and asked, please, who is the Creator revealed to me? Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to him. And then Avraham Avinu realized that there is a God. Now, I don't want to touch what is God. It's too complicated for us to understand, but we're going to prove how's life come. So I decided to go first with the human body to understand that there is a creator to the world. Not like many people say that from the Big Bang created. Okay, let's start with the eyes. Any one of you have any idea how many sensor of color sensor we have in the eyes? There is 7 million color sensor in the eyes for us to visualize, to see different color. 7 million sensors. Now let's move on. We see black and white. What does it mean, black and white? That we can see during, if it's dark and you walk during the darkness, there is different sensors. If it's very dark, if it's too dark, we have different sensors. You know how many sensors of black and white we have in the eye? Anyone have any idea? 127 million different sensors of black and white in the eye.
Why not?
In the eyes. Why is that? Now, let's ask ourselves, sorry?
So we can see in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. But why? Why is it? We have to understand. Now, a person have two eyes. Why we don't have one eye in the center? Did you ask yourself? Why did we get used to it that we've been created? We see a person that have two eyes, eyelashes. Do you know what I'm saying? A nose here. Why the nose here, not here? Or what the nose is not here? It's for breathing. We have to understand all of that. Why we have an eyelid? Did you ask yourself? So, when we dig deep inside and we try to understand the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we realize why He give us two eyes. Why? That when we look, we have a multi-vision with two eyes. If we have one eye, you can see only one side. When you have two eyes, you can see multi-vision. You know what I'm saying? We can see completely. Now, I don't know if any one of you done scuba diving. When you scuba dive, you have a mask, and the mask actually limits you. So all you can see, that's what you can see on the side. Now, when we stand, we can see a side. Imagine with one eye.
You won't have depth of vision with one eye. You won't get 3 dimensions.
That's exactly. We wouldn't have the multi-vision. 3 dimension, exactly. Why, David?
Fish eye.
Sorry?
A fish eye has got a...
No. We're talking about human being. Wait, we start with human being. We'll get to the animal also. We'll get to the electric eels. Did you hear about electric eels? No? Please God, not next week. The following week, we're going to touch what there is underneath the sea. You never heard about the electric eels?
Oh, we know about them.
Do you know about it? You know how many volt there is in his tail? How much is high voltage? You know how many? About I listen to that. You know how many battery, equivalent to how many batteries there is in the back of his tail?
It's high voltage with no current.
Until he start putting it to action. Until he put it. So I tell you now, just to remind you, it's equivalent, Rabota, listen to that, to 5,000 batteries. 5,000 batteries give you 600 volt. At home in South Africa, our electricity moving between 220 volt, maximum 240, Rabotai. Am I right, Johan? When you work on electricity? You agree with me, Russell? This is double, Rabotai, more than double. And we'll explain why and we'll explain how's it working when we get to it.
You can use them for electric cars.
Let's move on. We said that that's about the eyes, just to give you ideas. So before we move on, can it be that from a Big Bang will be 7 million color sensors? Or 127 million black sensors on the eye?
Never.
Okay. Let's move to the eyelid.
Rabbi, it's actually much more than 7 million.
It's exactly 7 million, the article that I read, but you are scientists, you know.
No, the reason is called pixels. And you don't get color differential with limited
No, not pixel.
No, these are receptors as far as when you talk about a human being.
Yes.
But when you try to do it like in your television set, those are pixels. And then you get dots per inch. The eyes hasn't got dots, but it's got like nerve ends. You pick up the...
No, but how many sensors there is in the eyes? How many sensors to realize the colors? I'm not talking
I'm
about.
saying it's more than 7 million.
More than 7 color million? Are you sure, Menachem?
You realize you're dealing with a computer behind that.
I know. The article that I read, but maybe I'm wrong.
At least I hear the letter here.
But 7 million, I think that it's more than enough. I don't know if you agree with me. 7 million.
Who counted them?
They've done a research. I'm just, I'm not a scientist. I'm just taking all what I saw, all the article, and I'm bringing them. How did they work it out? I don't know. I don't think that anyone know until today actually how the eye works. Properly how the eye works, no one can tell. But let's move on. We get used to it that we have 2 eyelids. How come that we have 2 eyelids and not one? Did you ask yourself? Number two, who put the eyelid there? Why do we have eyelid? Did you ask yourself? Must be a master behind that. To have two eyelids and not one. The eyelid what? To protect. Okay. The eyelid is to protect. Anything else? Any other opinion? Moisture, okay.
Lubricates, because
Lubricate, yeah, moisture.
glasses, if you had windscreen wipers, you would
Yeah,
put in more.
that's right. So how many Meish, the sac of the tears that there is inside the eyes now. Let's touch it. You already touched it. Lubricating. Can you imagine that Nikon or Olympus or what else there is? Where's Tony? Tony, what other camera there is? Canon. Did you imagine that Canon going to come or Nikon going to come with a camera that you have inside, that it's built inside the camera, a cleaning eyes for the camera. Can you believe it? I don't think that they invented it yet. Akadosh Baruch Hu put a sack with a lot of moisture that we call it tears, and those one lubricating the eyes all the time. Imagine, some of us around the age of, I don't want to go too high, but let's stay in the 60s. For 60 years, we never lubricated our eyes. From dust. How many dust we saw? Do you understand? Now, why two eyelid? Did you ask yourself? And not one?
A fish hasn't got no eyelids.
A fish
Hasn't got eyelids.
doesn't have an eyelid.
See?
No? So how's he close his eyes?
The water keeps it. The moisture keeps it.
Make sure your hands.
Okay. Let's move on. So we go to the eyelid. Why two eyelid, Rabotai? Huh? No, in each eye you have two eyelid. One, two. You have four. Why two and one not one?
One up, one down.
Listen to the chokhmah that Akadosh Baruch Hu, okay, we're never going to understand. But look how he put it into us. And we never take ideas. We never look at it deep enough to understand. If we have one eyelid, every time that you close and you open your eyes, you will lose your vision for a certain amount of time, for a short time. When you close your eyes with the eyelid, you actually lubricate them so fast that you don't even realize. Is that can happen from the Big Bang? I don't think so. But let's move on. Let's see what's happening. We get used to it that we have an eyebrow. In the middle of the forehead, middle of the face, we have two eyebrows. Why? Did you ask yourself why suddenly you have here a hair? Okay, that's very good.
Look more handsome.
Look more handsome. So Tony helped us here, and Tony said that because the sweat wouldn't go to the eyes. But why dafka hair? Why did Akadosh Baruch Hu put here hair? Tony, you answer it. Now you must carry on. Why dafka hair? And he didn't put like a lip here or channel. Why dafka hair? You know, we get used to it because today we don't have gutters, as Tony said. We have hair, so it's look common. But we have to understand, we quite often get sweat. The eyes is very sensitive, Rabotai. We all know. Mevin, you agree with me? Tell him how sensitive the eye is. And a little bit of this sweat would go to the eyes. How much damage would happen to a person if that sweat going to go to his eyes? So Akadosh Baruch Hu put the hair. What is it doing? It's actually channeling outside all the sweat not go to go inside the eyes. Not only that, if we look carefully, sometimes it's absorbing the sweat.
It has to, because the sweat is acid-based.
That can damage the eyesight, am I right?
You know when you get sweat into your eyes, you're always blinking and that.
Why? Because it's burning.
It's burning.
Why is it burning? Because the acid can damage the eyesight, am I right?
Not acid, it's salt.
It's salt, whatever you want to call it, salt, whatever you want to call it. But let's look at it. How come that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put it dafka here? Because he created the eyes. And he knows that the eyes is so sensitive. And God forbid, if that sweat all the time, are saying all the time, going to drip into the eyes. How much damage a person will have. Now we understand why. Then we spoke about the nose. We have a nose. Why dafka the nose is here above the mouth? So everyone knows the job of the nose is for smell, nachon? To sense smell. Good smell, bad smell. But why dafka above the mouth?
Check
Why
what
it couldn't
you're
be
eating.
here? Why didn't be in here?
Check what you're eating.
Check what you're eating, you're checking with your eyes.
The smell,
And the smell, yes, okay. So I smell the food and then,
you could smell it's off.
oh, no, carry on.
No, it could be poison.
So we have to understand that the nose, it's always above the mouth. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu put it there for a reason. He put it there to tell us. If there is, Chas v'Shalom, food that is bad, not good enough, immediately as you bring it close to your mouth, you smell, you'll sense it. You'll never put it inside. To prevent you from getting sick. Now, we have to understand also that we look at it just that we got the sense of smell just for food. There's other thing. Arav Shalom Shvadron, I'm going to tell you a story, and you're going to laugh now. Arav Shalom Shvadron one day was walking from shul to his house, Zichrono Livracha, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. And he saw people across the street running. As they're getting to a certain point, they start running. And he didn't realize. So when he got closer, he started to realize that he closed his nose and he started running. What happened? And that specific place, the sewage was blocked and it was gushing out. And the smell was so terrible that he couldn't take it. So he closed his nose and he started running. You know? Sorry, Hilton? No, in Yerushalayim. Sorry. No, not in Jordan.
Didn't think they had things like that happening.
Okay. So Arav Shalom Shvadron saw that. Anyway, he ran, and after that, he managed to get. And he said that after that, he mentioned his shiur, he said something very different. Listen to what he said, and listen to his musar that he used to give his student. He said, sometimes when we so deep inside in a tzoros, we don't even realize that we're in a tzoros. So he said, but I want to tell you the story that happened to me. And he told them the story. And then he continued and he told them, while I was running, I saw two workers. The time was 9:30 in the morning when it happened. When he finished his shul, he finished his shiur, and he was walking home. So he said that when he was running, was two workers there at 9:30 in the morning. It happened that those workers was not Jewish people. And they was working on that sewage. But at 9:30 they decided to take their breakfast and sitting there and eating. Do you understand? So he come and he say, from the sense of smell, you can learn the Musa. Some people, when they so deep inside, they don't even realize that in that situation. Why? Because they don't see any different. So those workers that was working there, that they wasn't Jewish, was eating their breakfast there. For them, the smell didn't affect them. But the person that it's so outside, doesn't get used to it, have to close his nose and run away from the smell. So Rabbi Shalom Shvadron say, listen to that. He said that for us, the sense of smell even can tell us that sometime when you're in tzoros, when you're not in tzoros. What it means tzoros? It means how deep you are and certain things that you can't see outside that. Sometimes we get to a situation that we don't realize how bad is it. So the sense of smell can tell you. But those workers that was working there on the sewage decide to have their breakfast. And the smell didn't affect them. Let's move on. I would like to speak with you now about how much time we have. We have another 15 minutes. Is it okay, Rabotai? And then or 10 minutes. Let's make it 10 minutes. Yes, David. Okay, Shakwa. David, what is his name? This is Solomon. Okay, we wish him, please God, refuah shleima, huh?
Thank you.
So, you know the fruit, every fruit have a different color. You agree with me? Does anyone? Okay. If the fruit have a different color, there's one thing that they all have in common, all fruit. What is it? Every fruit, when it starts growing, the color is green. Why? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't take a fruit and say, listen, your color is orange, stay orange. Your color is red, like the strawberry. From the beginning, you red. The apple is red, stay red. Do you understand my question?
Yeah.
Why does it have to go through a certain time before it's become to its real color? Mesh?
Maybe, let's say it's Hashem way of saying it's ripe.
Sorry?
A fruit
Yeah.
to a certain color when it's ripe,
Yeah.
it changes color.
Yeah.
And why it does that is that the fruit is maturing.
Okay, the fruit is maturing, but why does it have to start from green? All of them start from green. I'm saying, why did HaKadosh Baruch the fruit, before it's mature, it's green?
Don't start from green.
Sorry?
Some fruits don't start from green.
Every apple that is not ready is green.
Apples, but there are other fruits that
There is, but most of them green. Most of the fruit and the vegetable, before they become, the first green. Did you ask yourself why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu come to send us a message here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu send us a message. Listen, while it's green, it's not healthy for you. And when it's green, you should not eat it, because if you eat it, it's still sour. The fruit is not ready. It can be very harmful. Therefore, don't touch it. Only when you see its real color, then you can eat it. I promised that we're going to speak about the electric eel. I was thinking to leave it for not next week, the following week, but by then we're going to forget. I'm going to move now to the electric eels that we spoke about it. Deep in the sea, there is what we call electric eels. Any one of you saw it?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Pictures.
No. It's a long, it looks like a snake. It looks like a snake. It's very deep. You usually see it, minimum, you start seeing the eels. I saw the eels, the one that I saw. I'm talking to you that the electric eels that I saw, and I saw it from a distance of 15, 20 meters. The depth was 20 meters. That's when I was 22 meters, when I saw the electric eels. And I want to tell you, he looks so cute that you have no idea. You actually want to pet him. But when you realize who you're dealing with, you say, I'd rather stay away from him.
Only do it once.
That's it. And how, tell me, is that can be or not? Maybe that can happen from the Big Bang also, because the Big Bang happened with two objects collision together. Am I right? They have a collision. It was explosion and everything happened. And the electric eels at the back of his tail have 600 volt. Now this 600 volt, it's actually switched off most of the time. It's become active when he opens his eyes and he actually, the side that he's gonna hunt, he actually lift up his tail, the back tail actually lift up a bit and his eyes open, and now the current's starting to move on. When he decides that he found the prey that he wants, he look at it, he focus on it, and when he hit it, he just touch it. Whatever he touch get electrocuted, and that's how he actually eat. That's what he eat. So let's stop here and now understand, is that can happen from the Big Bang? It must be that big creator. Let's look at that standard. If I would ask you, is that standard created by himself? You're all going to say to me, no. Must be someone that designed it, and then a craftsman that put it together. So can happen that the world, and we have brought few number of example about how HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us. Can it happen that that standard will create if I throw 1,000,000 grenades in a room? Will that standard will be standing up?
Never.
Never. So tell me now, I want to ask, how is those people say that the world created from the Big Bang? Let's say that they're right. We not agree with them. But who created the two objects that collide together? And that's what caused Stephen Hawking to change his mind. Am I right, Meish?
Well, it's a bit more complex than that, but
No, I'm just summarizing what he said. Because when we asked them,
Big Bang came a production of materials, the elements, and
but who created them?
That's the question where he falls flat. He says, who created the Big Bang? And that's where he contributes.
That's when he got confused. Am I right? That's where he stuck. That's when he changed his mind. You understand now,
And who made
Lionel?
the two objects to go together?
That's what we're saying. Who created them? Who put them together? So now we have a little bit of idea who created the world. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually put it together. The next thing that, please God, we're going to do, and that's what Mesh, that's actually a special request for Mesh. You always speak to me about it. You know, we have a mitzvah that in 8 days, if the baby, a born baby boy, on 8 days, we have to circumcise him. Nachon? That's the mitzvah.
The Torah says 8 days.
Sorry?
I said that in the Torah it's prescribed.
Yeah. We have a mitzvah on the 8 days. Now, so Meish found out, the other day he told me that he found out. Why Dafka on the 8 days? We'll see, please God, I'm going to bring a few ideas. Why Dafka the 8 days? Then I'm going to go with you also, if you don't mind, if you're interesting, to prove the numbers. Number 7. Did you ever look at number 7? Just to give us idea. Number 7 in Jewish religion have a different aspect than any other numbers. It's very active number. Number 7, we have Shabbat Dafka on the number 7. We have Sheva Brachot, Sheva Yemei Mishteh that we have. Shnat HaShmita, 7 years, Nachon? Sorry? 7 Shavuot, what else? Lo Aleinu, when a person sitting Shiva, you know, you have to sit for 7 days. 7 days, a very active number. Why? Please God, we'll tackle that also. And then we'll tackle the Brit Milah. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say Dafka on 8 days? We're going to say Kaddish, so